a crew chief, an open microphone, and 3 words that said more than an entire season of results ever could. Same every week. Not whispered, not hidden, not saved for a private meeting. Broadcast live, during the race, for everyone to hear. And in that one moment, everything changed. Because that wasn't just frustration, that was something deeper. That was a team admitting, without meaning to, that nothing is getting better. This is the story of a team that isn't just struggling, it's slowly falling apart in real time. And it all came to light at Bristol. Coming into this race, the pressure was already building. This wasn't a team trending upward. This wasn't a group just missing one piece. This was a team searching for answers and not finding any. No wins, no top 5s, no real signs of progress. Week after week, the results stayed the same. And that's what made Bristol so important. Because if there was ever a place to turn things around, this was it. A track where experience matters. A track where veterans shine. A track where champions remind everyone who they are. And for Kyle Busch, this track should have meant something. Instead, it exposed everything. From the very start of the race, something felt off. The car didn't look stable. It didn't look comfortable. And most importantly, it didn't look fast. The issue became clear quickly. No rear grip. The car wouldn't rotate into the corners. It wouldn't stick through the center. Every lap looked like a fight just to keep control. Adjustments were made. Changes were called. Nothing worked. Lap after lap, the same problem. Lap after lap, the same result. And that's when frustration started turning into tension. At one point, the crew chief went straight over the radio, asking the one question every team asks when things start going wrong. What's the problem? But this wasn't a calm conversation. This was urgent. This was desperate. And the answer that came back might have been the most telling part of the entire race. I don't know. Think about that. In the middle of a race, with data, cameras, spotters, engineers, the answer was still uncertainty. That's not just a bad setup. That's a team completely out of sync. Then things got worse. Midway through the race, contact sent the car spinning. It wasn't catastrophic, but it didn't need to be. Because at that point, the race was already slipping away. Track position was gone. Momentum was gone. And with it, any real chance of recovery. From there, it became survival mode. Running deep in the field, fighting for positions that shouldn't even be in the conversation for a driver of that caliber. And that's when we heard it. The moment that defined everything. Over the radio, tensions started rising between the team, voices getting sharper, frustration becoming harder to hide. And then the spotter stepped in. But not to call traffic, not to guide the driver, to calm the team down, to stop the situation from getting worse, to remind everyone that they were still in this together. That's not racing communication. That's crisis management. And after a short pause, the response came back. Same every week. 3 words. But they carried the weight of an entire season. Because that wasn't about one race. That wasn't about one mistake. That was about a pattern. A cycle that keeps repeating, no matter what they try to change. And when a crew chief starts sounding like that, it means belief is starting to fade. And then there was the driver. Kyle Busch. One of the most vocal, emotional, and competitive drivers in NASCAR. A driver who never holds back. A driver who always has something to say. But in this race, silence. Almost nothing over the radio. No outbursts. No explosions. No frustration being voiced. Just quiet. And that might have been the loudest signal of all. Because when a driver like that stops talking, it usually means they've run out of things to say. But the biggest moment was still to come. Late in the race, with everything already going wrong, frustration finally turned into action. Running deep in the pack, Busch found the driver who had made contact with him earlier. And this time, he didn't hold back. The move was clear. It was intentional. It was payback. And it changed everything. The contact triggered a caution. And just like that, the entire race was reset. Leaders who were comfortable suddenly had pressure. Strategies flipped instantly. Drivers who thought they had it under control were now thrown into chaos. A race that was heading toward a clean finish turned into a sprint. And all of it traced back to one moment. One decision. One act of frustration. Now the debate begins. Was it justified? At a track like Bristol, where contact is part of the culture, some will say yes. That's short track racing. That's how drivers settle things. But there's another side to it. Because here's the reality no one can ignore. If that car had been competitive, if that team had been running up front, that moment never happens. The retaliation became the story because the performance wasn't there to begin with. After the race, the message was controlled, calm, professional, focused on moving forward. But it didn't match what we heard during the race. Because the radio doesn't lie. And what it revealed was something much bigger than one bad finish. It showed a team searching for answers. It showed a crew chief losing confidence. It showed a driver stuck in a situation that isn't improving. And it showed a season that's starting to slip away faster than anyone expected. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is moving forward. New winners are emerging. Other teams are finding speed. Momentum is building everywhere else. And that's what makes this moment so important. Because NASCAR doesn't wait for anyone. If you fall behind, the gap only gets bigger. Now the focus shifts to what comes next. Another race. Another chance. Another opportunity to turn things around. But the real question isn't about speed anymore. It's not even about strategy. It's about belief. Can this team fix the problems before they lose confidence completely? Can they reset mentally and find a way back? Or has the frustration already gone too deep? Because after Bristol, one thing is clear. This isn't just a rough stretch. This is a team that's starting to feel stuck. And in NASCAR, that's one of the hardest problems to fix. Now I want to hear from you. Was that retaliation justified, or did it cross the line? And more importantly, can this team actually turn things around? Or is this season already slipping away? Let me know in the comments.